In today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to make this star mobile out of an ordinary milk carton like this. So I'm going to take my milk carton and cut out the flat parts. You won't need the handle or some of these curvy parts, just the flat parts of the milk carton. I didn't bother to remove the label because I don't need that much of it. So once I've cut out a flat piece like this, I can put it over the object that I want to turn this into. So on this scrap piece of paper, I've drawn some stars because I think the stars will look really nice with the light shining through them. Of course, you can draw whatever you like, but I think stars are really nice. And what's nice about the milk carton is it's translucent. So you can put it right over your drawing and trace. And I drew a bunch of different stars because every time I draw a star, it's a little bit different. I can never get them absolutely perfect. So I did a few so that some of my stars would look different from the others. So once I've traced my star, and it might be a little hard to see because the pencil is very light, but I can see it well enough. So I can take my scissors and just cut out the star. Now that I have all my stars cut out, I decided to do 6 stars for my mobile. I need to put holes in the points on the tops of each star. So I'm just going to use a small thumbtack like this and go almost to the top of one of the points and make sure that my thumbtack goes all the way through, not just the small part of the point, so that I get a big enough hole to string my thread through. So I will go and make holes in all 6 of these stars. Once I have all the holes in my stars, I'm going to take some thread, just a regular piece of sewing thread, and a little needle, and string my thread through the hole. You could try to do this without the needle if your hole is large enough, but I don't think I could have gotten my thread in that teeny tiny hole. So I think a needle helps a lot. And then we'll tie it off so that it stays secure on the thread. And I'm going to use more thread than I think I might need, just so I can adjust when I'm hanging my stars on the stick. I can adjust it to where I want it to be as I go, because if I have too little thread, then I won't be able to adjust it if I want to make something longer. So having extra helps. Finish tying mine up here. And you can kind of, sometimes you have to fiddle with it a little bit to get it to where you want it to be. And then this little extra piece, I can just take a pair of scissors and cut. And I have one of my stars threaded on the string. So I'll go ahead and do the rest of them, and then I'll show you how to attach it to the stick. Now I have thread on all of my stars, and I want to attach it to my stick. I just went outside and found a nice size stick for this project. And there are a couple ways you can do this. You can take your star and you can wrap it around the stick a few times so it stays in place and tie it. Or you can do what I did, which is I drilled some holes in my stick and I used a ruler to kind of measure out. I measured in 1 inch and 1 inch on the ends because I'm going to hang some thread to hang this. And then I drilled in 6 holes 2 inches apart, or roughly 2 inches apart, to thread my star threads through. Now, trying to get the thread through this hole sometimes can be difficult. So I have a little trick that I like to use. I take a thin gauge piece of wire, and it kind of works like a sewing needle, where you stick the wire that's been folded in half through the hole and it makes a little loop. And then you can thread your thread through the loop and pull it through. Makes it so much easier than trying to get it through the hole without the wire. I suppose you could also use just a sewing needle as well. And then what I'll do for now is I'm just going to wrap the thread around the stick and not tie it, just so I can get all of my stars inside. And then I'll hold it up, and then I can adjust the height to see where I want my stars to fall. Okay, I have 5 out of 6 of my stars hung. I'm just going to do the last one. And let's see, maybe I'll put it at about the same length as the first one I strung, so it has a little bit of symmetry to it. Get my thread through here, pull it up through, and adjust it a little bit. Looks pretty good. And tie it off. Now, if you are going to drill holes instead of just tying it to the stick, make sure you ask an adult or an older sibling or somebody in the household who has used a drill before, because a drill is a pretty serious tool, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can get hurt. So make sure you ask for help. But I think tying it to the stick is perfectly fine and easy enough to do, especially if you wrap it around the stick a few times to get it so it doesn't move around while you're making the final knot to hang the star. Okay, I'm just gonna trim off the extra here. So now, oops, I got a little tangle here. So now I have all my stars hung on the stick. So now I need to I need to add the string that's going to hang it in my window. So I will do that part next. Okay, so now I have a thread here tied to this end and a thread here tied to this end. And I want to make it so that my mobile is balanced. So I'm going to take both. And I would recommend making your string way longer than you need it. And you want to grab both strings at the same time and kind of pinch them so that your stick, this is kind of tricky, your stick is kind of level. Let's see. There we go. And then when you get it to a place that you want it, try to tie it in the place where you pinched so that your stick doesn't tilt from one side to the other. And this is not that easy to do while you're holding it. But if you have a little patience, let's see if I did it right. Ta-da! I did. And I will fix my stars here. There we go. Perfect. And now I just need to hang the mobile in a window. Now, before you put any hardware into your window, make sure you ask your parents or the adults in the house if it's okay to put something in the wood, and get their help too. I put a little eye hook here in my windowsill so I could hang my mobile. So I'm going to take the extra thread that I have and put it through the eye hook. and kind of get it where I want it to be. Tie a knot. It's a little tricky to do while you're holding it. And if it helps, you can get a friend or parent or sibling to hold it while you tie it. And then I'll take my scissors and cut the extra off. So now I have my mobile hung in the window. And the nice thing about using the milk carton is that the light shines through it. So I would encourage you to try this. You can do stars or any other shape. And if you want to try this project and show us, feel free to email us at info@catskillartsociety.org and send us a picture, and we can share it with everyone who follows us on social media. So thanks so much for watching. Take care.